What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. And today I wanted to start doing some more rebuilds. I want to do a different rebuild, and that is redoing rebuilds. You guys all know how we can redo off seasons here on NBA 2K19, and I kind of wanted to do that. So I definitely think this is going to be fun to do, and I just wanted to do something different. Everyone's kind of doing rebuilds of the regular teams, but those are getting kind of boring to me. I think doing the regular teams rebuilds, they're fine, but I like when there's twists added to the rebuilds. I think it's more fun, and I think it's probably more fun for you guys to watch. So we're going to redo the Timberwolves offseason today, and we're only going to redo their offseason. We're not going to go further. We're not doing 3 seasons. We're just going to redo this one offseason and see where we can take this Timberwolves team in one offseason. So the Timberwolves, basically not much happened to them. They didn't really sign anybody besides Anthony Tolliver, and they drafted Josh Okogie and Kia Bates Diop, I think. And then Jamal Crawford's not on the team anymore. But other than that, this team has, largely kind of looks the same. Bielitsa is on the team anymore. Derrick Rose was re-signed. Yeah, Cole Aldrich, Aaron Brooks aren't on the team anymore, but a lot of these G League players don't really matter. But as far as the main players, not much has changed for the Timberwolves. So, not a drastic change is going to happen in this video. But one thing I will be trying to do, although I really can't do it, like, realistically, is I'm going to fix the chemistry of this team. Like, right now, this team, we all know in real life, is in shambles. I did a Jimmy Butler video earlier today, so if you guys have not watched that, please make sure to do so. And they do have the lottery correct, which is, or hopefully the order is correct. They have the Magic. The order is incorrect, but that's going to be something I'm going to have to fix. I'll definitely end up fixing that. Hopefully I can. The Suns got the 3rd pick, the Kings. If I can even remember the draft order, but we'll leave that alone for now. I'm going to have to make a file. I'll have to remember that for the next video if you guys do enjoy this series. Tom Thibodeau. Now, I kind of want to fire him just because based off I can't base it off what's going on right now. I think I have to base it off like this last season. And maybe you can't really blame it all on Tom Thibodeau, so I'll keep it there for now. But I'm definitely not going to be making the Minnesota Timberwolves today. That's for sure. So you can stay, but I'm going to actually take over president of basketball operations. So we have the 20th pick from the Thunder. And is there anybody? I don't think they trade. They still have Gorgie Dang on the roster. Justin Patton is still here. But I think one thing that the Timberwolves should look into is trading Gorgie Dang, which is what I think they're trying to do. I think they're trying to load Gorgie Dang's contract and the Jimmy Butler trade onto somebody else, but I'm not sure if it's going to work. I don't know. We'll see, though. As far as what I want, I just want to get rid of Gorgie Dang's contract. So maybe getting Tony Bradley from the Jazz, which wouldn't be a terrible idea. And we're going to have a first rounder from them in the future. So I'll roll with that. And then we got rid of Gorgie Dang's contract. So can't complain too much about that. And then Damon Knight, not worried about that. Player options, Jamal Crawford accepts, so a little bit different there. Jamal Crawford is going to return to the Timberwolves, which I'm okay with. Marcus Georges, and yeah, we're not going to bring back Bielitsa either, but for the cap holds, we got Bielitsa. We will bring back Derrick Rose, though, because he did do good in the playoffs last season, so do want to bring him back. And we have negative 11 million cap space. Jimmy Butler still has a contract extension we got to get to, which he's still undecided at this moment. And then we all know Karl-Anthony Towns has a extension in real life. Is there any other Gorgie Dang? We can get rid of his. And then maybe we can end up trading away Taj Gibson. I don't like his contract too much, so I think that's something I will look into right now, actually. So Taj Gibson, if we get rid of you, like I said, this isn't the Minnesota Timberwolves anymore. Although Taj Gibson was much of a help for Karl-Anthony Towns down low, I just would rather have the cap space to go elsewhere with this cap or with this money. So with the Suns, we can get Andre Roberson, Ian Mahimi, Jarian Grant in a 2nd round pick. That saves us money. And the Bulls get Taj Gibson back. I guess we'll do that. So we get Jarian Grant. He did play for the Bulls, Tom Thibodeau. So you kind of have to be happy with that. But got about 13 million cap space. No one I really want to trade. I like Jeff Teague. He's not bad. And I think he's the perfect point guard for this team because we have Jimmy Butler, Andrew Wiggins, and Karl-Anthony Towns to score the ball. And we'll probably sign another scorer at the 4, hopefully. So we got to re-sign Derrick Rose, that's for sure. And we could probably move Jarian Grant to shooting guard if needed. Or Tyus Jones to shooting guard. Either one. We'll move both of them and then get Derrick Rose back. And then we'll make Jamal Crawford Could probably trade him too if necessary, but Justin Patton, Wiggins. So let's get a power forward. That's basically what we need right now. Now, I don't know what, man, this free agency is bringing back some memories though. So, yeah, a lot of things will hopefully change. And yeah, so, and definitely interesting. Aaron Gordon, basically kind of the contract he got. Julius Randle would not be a bad pickup for the Pelicans, or not for the Pelicans. That's where he went. Wouldn't be bad for us to pick up. But we got Aaron Gordon, Jabari Parker, Julius Randle, Derek Favors, Mirotic. I kind of like the idea of Mirotic on this team. Or I could look at the center spots. Nurkic is here. We got Brook Lopez, Alex Len, Clint Capella. Clint Capella would almost be like awesome to grab, but I think Nikola Mirotic would be like kind of a cool pickup, I think. And Tom Thibodeau used to coach Mirotic, so I think this is something that will make him happy. 20 million, $20 million 3 season. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine with me. So point guards, let's go ahead and offer Derrick Rose his contract. Hopefully he doesn't want too much. 3, that's not too unreasonable. So we get Derrick Rose back hopefully there. And then for a backup center though, we do need a backup center. I did notice that. JaVale McGee, always a nice quality backup center. For as far as small forwards, as a backup small forward, I don't think we can offer any contracts to anybody. Anyway, so Nikola Mirotic, JaVale McGee, and Derrick Rose. I am okay with that. And then, like I said, we need a backup 4 or backup 3. Reggie Bullock, always another nice option there. Michael Beasley, he's playing for the Timberwolves actually. So Reggie Bullock, let's make sure we get all of these guys. All right, so we got all of them. And now the roster should look a little different. And we got Jeff Teague, Derrick Rose, Jimmy Butler, Jamal Crawford, Tyus Jones, Wiggins, Reggie Bullock, Mirotic, I think is going to add a different dynamic to this team. And then Jeff Teague. Like I said, I do kind of like Jeff Teague on the team, but if there is something that I could maybe go with, if there's like another point guard out there that I could possibly rather grab, then I might just look into it. So we got Austin Rivers, Hassan Whiteside. That'd be interesting. Hassan Whiteside and Karl-Anthony Towns down low. Bogdan, Frank Ntilikina, Julius Randle, Spencer Dinwiddie. It's not a bad pickup by any means. And I actually might be down with that trade. Ryan Anderson, Rudy Gay, Clint Capella is now on the Phoenix Suns, which there was rumors that the Suns were prepared to offer Clint Capella a max contract. So that's interesting. Spencer Dinwiddie, though, I kind of like the idea of that. We give them a first rounder, and the Nets just take on Jeff Teague for 1 season and maybe 2. So, I mean, Spencer Dinwiddie is basically what Jeff Teague brings to the table almost. You can almost argue that Spencer Dinwiddie might be a little bit better. And plus, we just saved like 18 million cap space. So, we have 16 mil, so we can still do whatever we want with that money. So, Spencer Dinwiddie, Derrick Rose, got Jamal Crawford, Jimmy Butler. We basically have our starting 5, and we could really bring in a nice quality backup with $16 million. So, what else could we bring in? Like I said, we got Wiggins, Towns. Like I said, maybe a quality center we could go for. Brooklyn, there's no quality centers left. What is left anyway? Isaiah Thomas is like, one of the best options out there, and we don't necessarily need a backup point guard. So, maybe we just don't need that money, I guess. I guess we don't need it. We could always use it. Like I said, we could always use it. It actually works out better that way, because in the interview, Jimmy Butler did say that the Timberwolves didn't really make moves to give Jimmy Butler more money. The contract that they gave him was cool and all, but he wanted a little bit more money, and he felt like the Timberwolves weren't willing to do that, so he kind of ended up declining. So I think that actually could make Jimmy Butler happy and end up maybe resigning here. So we'll see by the extension deadline if he wants to resign here. But I definitely like how this team is looking. I think it's pretty decent looking, and I think Wiggins hopefully developing will help, and then Mirotic stretching the floor, and Spencer Dinwiddie just going to be passing it around, shooting shots whenever he needs to. Going to be a great team, I think. Not a bad rebuild, I think. Not a bad redoing of the rebuild. If you guys want me to do some more teams on redoing their off seasons, just let me know down in the comment section below. I like doing them. I think it's kind of fun to see where everybody ended up. So let's see how some rosters are looking like. So like I said, I'm only going to do 1 season. What do we got as far as everybody? So we got Lillard, McCollum at basically looks the same. Mirotic or Nurkic back on the team. We no longer DeMarcus Cousins. They instead get Alex Lynn. Okay, that's always awesome. No Dwight Howard. Instead, they get Wayne Ellington, and Gortat is still on the roster. We got Thunder. Still have Carmelo Anthony, so Carmelo Anthony still getting paid $27 million, and they get Michael Beasley, which isn't a bad addition. Devin Booker gets Clint Capella instead of getting DeAndre Ayton. Kawhi Leonard is still on the Spurs. Harden, Chris Paul, Eric Gordon no longer get Carmelo. DeRozan is still on the Raptors. Andre Drummond and Blake Griffin, nothing much change for the Pistons. Anthony Davis gets Will Barton and Brook Lopez, which that's not bad, and they still get Alfred Payton, so that's kind of funny. LeBron James is on the Pacers now with Oladipo. Definitely interesting there. Jokic, nothing changed for the Nuggets, it looks like. They got Jeff Teague, basically. That's all that changed for them. They still have Jeremy Lin, I guess. No Luka Doncic. Instead, they get Wendell Carter Jr. in the draft. Okay. The Magic get who did they get? Colin Sexton. That's interesting. They did need a point guard, though, so that does make sense. Lakers get DeMarcus Cousins, which we all thought was most likely to happen, and they re-signed Isaiah Thomas. So, yeah, I know I'm just going through all these. Porter ends up on the Knicks. Kings get DeAndre Ayton. The Jazz don't look like changed much. Dwight Howard still on the Hornets. Whiteside, Bam Adebayo still on the Heat. Dennis Schroeder is on the Hawks still. And Aaron Gordon goes to the Hawks with John Collins. And Luka Doncic. That roster is actually looking pretty low-key, pretty nice. I mean, a starting five of possibly Schroeder, Luka Doncic, Taurean Prince, John Collins, and Aaron Gordon maybe at the center spot. That's not looking too bad. Or John Collins at the center spot. That's a pretty decent rotation. And the Grizzlies get Marvin Bagley. Wow, okay. Definitely some things have changed. They get, I don't even know who that is. Okay, whatever. Celtics don't look like they probably changed much. Kevin Love, the Cavaliers get, who did they get? They got Mikal Bridges, which is what some rosters had them, or some drafts had them projected to get. Yeah, so I think that's basically all I'm going to look at. I know I've been looking at all these. So basically all I'm going to do is simulate to the end of next year, and let's see how this Timberwolves team does, and see if Jimmy Butler and Karl Towns accept some contract extensions at the deadline. So even with the moves we made, Jimmy Butler is still wanting to test free agency, which is fine, and Karl Towns is ineligible. So that's basically a little update at the contract extension deadline. Nothing too major, but just going to show you that Jimmy Butler still wants to test free agency. So at the end of the season, despite all the changes to the NBA, Steph Curry still wins MVP. Luka Doncic actually on the Atlanta Hawks wins Rookie of the Year. We got Sixth Man of the Year going to Chris Dunn, so the Bulls have some other point guard they would rather start. Anthony Davis wins Defensive Player of the Year, which makes sense no matter what. De'Aaron Fox is still on the Kings. I mean, that does make sense. It wouldn't change it. He wins Most Improved Player, and then Steve Kerr wins Coach of the Year. So that's basically it. As far as the All-NBA teams, we got basically you guys can read. We got Karl Towns on the All-NBA first team. That's pretty cool. And nothing. I mean, DeMarcus Cousins on the Lakers makes the All-NBA second team. And then that's it for us. Do we have Jimmy Butler possibly on the All-Defensive teams? We do not. So we did go 47-35. We're the 5th seed facing the Houston Rockets still. So we did face the Houston Rockets last year as far as the Timberwolves. And then 22 points for Karl Towns and about 11 rebounds. And then Jimmy Butler had about 16 points, which going into the, I think Jimmy Butler would obviously average a little bit more than that. Wiggins averaged 14 points, which isn't too great. But JaVale McGee averaged 13 points off the bench, so that's kind of I don't know how that's real, but whatever. Facing, like I said, the Houston Rockets. So let's see if in round 1 they don't have Carmelo, if we can beat the Houston Rockets. So we're up 1-0 to start the series. They evened it up. Can we go up 2-1? We are up 3-1 possibly. We do. Can we make sure we finish the series? And just like that, we win in 6 games. So, I mean, we make it to the second round, beating the Houston Rockets with the roster we have. But, I mean, we got to face the Golden State Warriors, who do not have DeMarcus Cousins. But, I mean, Curry still won MVP, and they still have their big four. So, right? They still have Kevin Durant. Yeah, they still have Kevin Durant. And he dropped 45 points in Game 5. So, coming off a good game, I think this might be where we take an L. But we'll see, I guess. We're up 1-0 to start the series. They do even it up. Can we go up 2-1? They're up 2-1, 3-1. And I think this is where we say rest in peace to the Minnesota. Oh, we almost came back low-key. We're losing 7 games to the Golden State Warriors, which is you know, we all thought the Timberwolves could compete with the Golden State Warriors when this trade first happened as far as Jimmy Butler to the Timberwolves. So let's go ahead and see who wins the championship. The Milwaukee Bucks are up 2-0. The Warriors are up 3-0 in their series, and we're seeing still Toronto. Okay, so despite Kawhi Leonard not being on the Raptors, we still get a Warriors and Raptors final. So 2K, as you can tell, is broken. But anyways, guys, I do appreciate you guys for watching. Definitely leave a like if you did enjoy, and subscribe if you haven't already. And this is Crushables, and I'm saying peace.